So hello and welcome to another boat review of myself from the Captain's Blog here on YouTube, bringing you the review on Brinks Serenade that I've hired from Brinkcraft, who are based in Wroxham on the Norfolk Broads. And unlike other boat reviews I've done, we're starting inside the boat at the front of the boat, but I'll explain why I'm doing this back to frontness in a moment. So we're going to be doing a full review of the boat, walking through. I'm going to be showing you some of the good points of the boat. I'm going to be drawing attention to anything that I found that, doesn't quite work or could be improved and stuff like this. So it's a true, honest review of my opinion of this boat. Yours may be obviously different. Just a little bit of information first of all about the boat. If you are regularly coming to hire boats on the Norfolk Broads, you'll probably notice, if you're looking for the new class of boats, the premium quality boats, that a lot of them are either dual steer, flybridge, where you've got the steering position outside, or their centre cockpit. And that is pretty much it. And of course with the dual steer boats, they're quite high up, so you're limited sometimes to what bridges you can go under and where you can explore on the Broads. Now the centre cockpit boats, they deal with that obviously by having their canopy being lowered, but I like this boat that it's a classic design in a way that's been really brought up to 2017 standards, both externally with additions to the actual length of the boat, a lower stern to get on and off easily when you stern on more at say Salhouse or Ramworth, together with new improved windows that are flush bonded, nice and tinted, so it really adds a modern flair. But Brinkcraft really have gone to town on the inside of the boat, and also, as ever they do, the technical side, to make your holiday as enjoyable as possible, which is what it's really all about. Getting as much of the conveniences that you're used to at home when you're out on the water. So let's start, as I said, in the forward cabin at the bow or front of the boat. So here we are in the forward cabin, and I've set this up to be sort of a typical scene that you may have when you're hiring the boat yourself. So this here is one of the V berths, and you can see that I've made it up, and it's actually a very wide V berth. You can also put your infill in to make it into an enormous double berth. But look at the quality of the interior, the fit out. Really lovely colours they've used here. Different contrasting colours, nice use of decent quality materials. You've obviously got your TV here. So I'm going to go into a bit more detail. I'm just going to remove this. If you've ever hired a boat before that's got this V-berth arrangement, you'll appreciate how tight things can be down here to get in and out of bed, to use the cabin as a place to dress and undress in the evening, etc. It can be really cramped. Not on this boat. There's real attention to space, and the way they've fitted it out and the quality of the woods they've used, then the joinery, it really is lovely. The drawers, they're really sturdy and they're nice size. You can get to both of them easily. Obviously, as you saw, if you have it with the infill for the double, you do lose this space. You've got a nice TV here that swivels left and right, so even in the front berth on this boat you can watch your TV and have a separate channel to the telly and the saloon, so whether you're a family and you've got the kids in here, they can watch their own shows, or if you're just a party of adults and you just don't fancy watching Coronation Street, you want to watch something else, you can just come and do that. So it's a really nice boat as far as privacy and your own space goes. Now, I was talking about the quality of the materials they've used. You've got the normal sort of lining stuff here that you get on most boats, and then you've got this really nice soft, matte, warm to touch lining material as well. The quality of the upholstery is absolutely great. I love this textured feel, and I love the colour. It's sort of a gold on blue, and it just adds a bit of class, I think. Over here we've got reading lights that you can obviously turn on and off, and to turn the actual cabin lights off, on and off, or press and hold and they will dim. Lovely little touch there. Look at this, a USB charging port. How handy are this? You'll find these around the boat because, let's face it, we don't need to bring our chargers and mains leads. Whether it's a camera, a phone, a tablet, it can all be recharged off of USB. So just having those is so simple. What a great idea. As we move around here, as you can see, we've got the same going on this side, plus we've got a double socket, so this boat fully electric, you know, you can bring your domestic appliances and plug them in, no trouble at all. But look at the space that we've got here. The floor space to move around, to get ready. We've got a little cupboard down here. Again, the joinery, lovely. Wardrobe is there. Another light switch here. Look at the lovely handles. Really chunky, nice feel. Proper lock. It's just taking that, okay, you have it in a hotel, let's put it on a boat. And look at this. This is the forward ensuite. Barnes Brinkcraft on their Elite Fleet boats now provide you with towels. They're lovely and soft, and they give you some complimentary, you know, shower gel, shampoo, and the like. You've got a really nice area here for showering in, nice space. Proper china sink, mixer tap, which is proper. Nice water pressure here. Lovely shower here, as you can see. The light in here is really bright. You've got these lovely LEDs, but the white just all reflects around. You've got a modern Vitas toilet system, which is push button, so what a powerful flush. And how simple is that? So that's really soft close lids on this as well. So you're not going to wake people up with bang, oh, you know. Lovely Corin worktops. You've got your gauge to know when your toilet waste tank is getting full and requires a pump out. It really is lovely. And this is just in the front cabin. So you've got all of this space to get ready. You've got these nice little cute port lights, which I really think bring a feeling of sort of proper boat to the matters. You've got your skylight here. Again, it's all tinted glass. You've got this big window out front that you can see the world through. The light just pours into this boat. So that's the forward cabin, and I think this is going to be a really comfortable space to spend a week's holiday. Lovely comfortable foam mattresses, great provision with USB chargers both sides, by the way, plus your normal 240 volts. You got your reading lights. It's just absolutely, what more could you want? How about a really spacious, open, social saloon space? Let's go and look at that next. So we come through the door, and there is a slight step, but they're only slight, so you know, I would say this is very much a single floor level boat. Of course, your holly and teak everywhere. But look at this, the door is opening, yeah? What if you want to keep it open? Well, you just give it a slam. Don't worry, it's not broken. It's now rigidly held open. What a nice idea these are. All the doors have this. So it means that you can keep the door open as you walk up into the saloon, and if you look back here, there is the step down and the forward cabin. So we just shut this door, which is quite simple. It's just a latch down there, and we're into this space. Now I don't want to spoil too much at the moment, I'll keep you waiting. We've got an enormous flat screen TV here, as you can see. We've also got the electronic controlled Eberspacher heating system. Very powerful, very hot. Great boat for, you know, early or late season cruising this. But also it has a cool blow function, so in the summer you can just have it on the cool blow, and you know, it will not chill the air, but it will keep air moving throughout the boat. Again, great joinery here. This is where you'll find the stereo, shelves to store more things, another wardrobe space here. Just so well thought out, all of this storage space. And here is the helm. Now, if you go and have a look at the other offerings from Barnes Brinkcraft, you'll find a boat there, and I'll let you do your investigative work on what this boat is, that looks absolutely identical to this, except it has 2 seats here and a big box. An engine is under that box, so it's that mould, but as I said, brought up to 2017 standards. You have a very wide commanding view of the river, despite the fact that this boat is low. It's 6'10" air draft. I took it up under Wayford Bridge to Dilham, an absolutely beautiful place to visit. You can get under Wroxham Bridge. You can worry less about the tides on the southern rivers and getting under Beccles Old Bridge. If the gods look down on you favourably, you may even be able to get under Potter Heigham Bridge. So for a new build boat to have this level of sort of cruisability is great. I really love it. But let's get into some things here with the dashboard. You've first of all got a beautiful finished steering wheel that is incredibly easy to turn. Moving over here, we've got an electric roof controls. I'll show you that in a moment. Usual, your water pump, wiper, which is 3-speed intermittent as well. Your bilge pump, another USB double charger, plus your conventional 12-volt accessory socket. You've got a normal tacho, GPS speed gauge, so no excuse for breaking the speed limit, your bow thruster, your throttle control, which is electric, and your hydraulic helm seat controls, and your vessel control system. This here will tell you a great deal about what's going on the boat, and I think that it's an incredible innovation that the Barnes Brinkcraft have done. This has been programmed by them, designed by them, and I think it's the future of boating. Is it going to give you some headaches? Well, I'm going to be honest with you. For example, this boat has an immersion heater. In order to turn the immersion heater on, you have to go into battery info, which tells you how much voltage you've got. So again, it's really nice. We've got 86% voltage or capacity. Been moored here. The review taking place outside the bridge inn at Acle, by the way. And then we can turn our immersion heater on just by pressing that, and you can see our voltage goes to 33 odd amps discharge rate. That will then stay on for an hour and then will reset itself. But the point being that you need to remember that it's in battery information to get your immersion heater on. So perhaps if it was somewhere here, another button that was just immersion heater on, that you didn't have to go through that. But I'm going to talk you through this very quickly. Engine panel, that's basically giving you a rough indication of your fuel burn. So when you're going along the river and how much your speed equates from 2 litres per hour right up to 12 litres per hour. How much fuel you've got in your fuel tank. Your engine temperature, we'll see that when I start the engine, the battery voltage, and any problems that may be, you know, the alternator system, the temperature or the oil. These would obviously light up, as you can see here. Temperature is lit up. There is an alarm that goes off should you be overheating, but that's because the engine's not started, so that's not lit up. Touch back. Obviously we're all familiar with tablet computers these days. Power on board. Again, this is just a simple diagram to say this is how much battery capacity we've got. This is what we're using. This is the load. And this is where it's actually coming from. Is it coming from the shore power system? Is it coming from the inverter power system? So this is all about your power systems. This isn't a hybrid boat or electric propulsion. This is a normal diesel powered boat, but it has the conveniences of this system. If there was a problem with the inverter, maybe you plugged in too many appliances and overloaded it and it tripped out, you simply follow the instructions, press and hold, it will reset and everything's fine again. We've then got all data, which is just basically everything that's going on, how much volts you're using, the battery state of charge, the time, etc. Vessel log, that's just really used for the boatyard. Should there be any issues on your hire, they can help use this to understand and locate any of the issues. So it's like a diagnostic system. And then finally, boat information gives you details about the bridge heights, how to operate the seat, how to operate the windscreen wiper, and of course their telephone number should you need any assistance. You can't screw anything up with this, by the way, so if anybody's thinking, God almighty, that's going to be really complicated, and what if I press the wrong thing and I'm not going to be able to start the boat, or I'm going to turn something off, that don't worry about it. All this is giving you information and giving you a few options to choose from. For example, turning on the immersion heater. Okay, so don't think that this is something scary and you're going to touch something and it's going to screw up. At night time you might want to turn this off, so you press night mode and it turns the screen off to dim it down. Now over here we've got conventional gauges, which is our water gauge, and the backup more precise fuel gauge, another button for the saloon lights. I'm going to start the engine up. It's all electronically controlled, the engine. So what I'm going to do is, because I want to put this into gear, okay, you know on most boats that have a normal throttle, you either pull a pin out or you pull the actual throttle stick out, and then you're into being able to just use the throttle and not move the boat anywhere. On this boat you just press and hold the warm up button. It starts flashing yellow to say you're into warm up mode, and then it doesn't matter what I do with the throttle, I can rev the engine and I'm not going to be going anywhere. Why would you want a electronic throttle gauge control? Well, there's no physical connection between this and the engine, so none of the engine noise can come down the cable to this. Also, it's flush mount. You don't need to have the enormous throttle control body, which is a bit like an iceberg. You see something on the top of a helm, but oh my goodness, they go back a long way. And because behind here is where the mirror is for the forward on sweep. So by doing this, we've removed any risk of noise transfer from the engine compartment. We've smoothed things up, and also it's really smooth and dampened. It's like a really nice expensive volume control on a high-end hi-fi system. So it's nice and smooth. So we're in warm-up. Engine off, on. Does his little dance. Panel comes to life. GPS starts loading. It's now working out how long it should preheat. The engine is now started. Can you hear the engine's now started? It's very quiet on this boat indeed. So now what we can do, because we're in warm-up, we can now put that down and it will now rev itself to about 1500 RPM. Now we can still use this, we can go back, we can go into power on board, and we can now see that everything's going this way. The arrows is going into the battery. If we go back, go to battery info, we can see that we're recharging at 70 amps. I'm going to turn off the water heater, and now our amperage will go up 103 amps. This boat has about sort of 2 kilowatt or so, I believe, of charging capacity from its alternators. It has an enormous battery system. So when we go to the galley, we will discuss this, because you've got an electric kettle, you've got an electric cooker on this boat, and it all runs off of the battery system. I've cooked on this boat, I've used the electric kettle. You don't need to start the engine to run it. You don't have any generator on this boat. All you need to worry about is that you've done enough cruising during the day to put the charge back in the batteries. And in the unlikely event that you haven't cruised enough hours during the day, it's okay, because you can do exactly what I'm doing, and you can use those appliances, and when we come outside you'll see how well insulated the engine is and how quiet it is for anyone that's moored around you. It doesn't have an normal exhaust system. The exhaust system is actually under the water, so you don't even have the burble or the sound of the engine coming out of the exhaust. Just put that into neutral and turn the engine off. Simple as that. Now moving over to the actual saloon itself. What a social, lovely, bright environment this is. That's your galley over there. Here's your main seating area. Here's the table, and I'm very sorry people, this is going to be a long review, but it's a very special boat, so we're going to cover every detail, so stay with me please. Let's look at the table situation going on here. I absolutely love fixed tables that we don't have to get out and fold and bang, crash into and everything else. This one, however, it folds out very simply. No electronics for this. So as you can see, you've now got, everybody can be around the table here. Now this boat sleeps 4 people, and I suppose you could have an extra person on the couch, but really it's primarily designed for space and comfort, so 4 people. Now as you'll notice here, this seat is also the helm seat, but it's in the social position. You can move the table round, so instead of being this orientation, it's this orientation. And I can sit on this, and I'm a big lad, and it doesn't move. So if you're worried about that, don't be. So we've now converted it for sort of eating, but when we're going along, we just fold the panels back over like this. And by the way, very sturdy. And now we convert our seating. This is kind of cool. Press both of these down, child lock, and then up it comes. Then we press back, and that gives us more leg room here. And then I'll just bring the back of the seat back out like that. There we go. So now we are in cruising mode, okay? And there's nothing to support the chair under here, but just to prove, I'm going to get up here, sit in the seat, and I haven't fallen backwards. This is the view from the helm. As you can see, all round visibility. But not only that, we can now open our electric sliding roof and let the sunshine in. But we can also do it on this side as well, independently, with zero effort. Now it's a beautiful day, but as I'm sure you can appreciate, there is some wind on the microphones, so I'm going to close that up. But I just wanted to show you how that works and how easy it is, because moving roofs sometimes on boats can be a bit of a pain, either with a winch handle or by manually pushing them up. And of course, when that's open, you can stand up and stick your head out of the roof. Let's get back down again. And we'll come round here. And as you can see, imagine if you're lying down here, you know, someone's driving the boat, you know, oh hi darling, here's some gin and tonic. The canopy's back, the sun's pouring in. It really is bringing the outside inside. We've got this enormous seating area here that's lovely, and then over here it starts into the galley. We've got a lovely full-size domestic fridge. We've got great cupboard space, toaster, electric kettle, really lovely. You can just turn it on. Should we just turn it on? Oh look, the engine's not on, the generator's not on. There is no generator. It can cope, it's fine. You can have electricity in boats, and the conveniences of home, and you don't have to worry about disturbing neighbours or yourself running generators. Lovely worktop here. But what I really like about this is you can be doing your cooking, you can have the TV on there, you can be talking here. It is so social. It brings everyone together. There is no the galleys down the steps, it's past there at the back of the boat. It's not even in a sort of corridor, it's just open. Masses of headroom, masses of lights. All of these lights here can be dimmed. I'll just show you how this works. Just press and hold the button and they will dim right down. So in the evening you don't want as much light, that's fine, you can just dim them down. Then we've got an induction hob. So this means that basically you have to have certain types of metal pans to work on this. So if you're bringing your own, make sure that they are induction hob compatible. But it's all touch, and it means you can't accidentally turn this on and then burn yourself. It needs a metal object conduct to work, otherwise, so it's safer for kids and stuff. They're not going to lift the hob on, sort of thing. There's a nice little rail around here to stop things sliding off. And now the combination grill, oven and microwave. Many people say, oh, Barnes Brinkcraft, I miss your gas ovens, I can't cook on them. Do you know what I did in here? I did jacket potatoes. It came out just great. I did a curry and did some onion barges in here. It really works. And I'll just give you a quick demonstration. You just press like convection. You want 180 degrees, for example. And I want 180 degrees for, let's say, 20 minutes. Okay? I close the door and I press start. And there it goes. And what will happen very rapidly is you'll see inside the electric elements start to glow red. It's a fan assisted oven, by the way, so that's what that noise is there. Don't know if you can just see in here and there. It is truly working. It is getting hot. Now think about the load that's putting on the batteries. I'm going to leave that running. I'm going to come back over here. We're discharging at 84 amps, but we've still got 85% capacity. You can do it. It works. So I'm just going to leave that going. We'll come back to that later, shall we? So, this is the galley. As you can see, with all of the lighting, you can turn this on and off if you wish, but I like it. You've got some lovely crockery in here, really nice quality. There's all your cups, saucers, jugs, cups, glasses, stemmed wine glasses, people. Loads of cutlery, really nice sharp knives. So what a lovely boat this is, and what a fine job Barnes Brinkcraft have done on the interior, the colour scheme, even the curtains complement, everything's just complemented, and it is very bright in here, even though to the outside these are quite tinted windows. So let's head into the aft cabin, and then from there we'll go outside. So from the galley we enter the aft double cabin, and as you can see there's another one of these clips on the door, so you could clip that into there, and then that would of course mean that you could see out the back of the boat from the helm to aid in stern on mooring. But look at the light and look at the lovely bed that we've got in here. So let's enter. Once again we've got a television here, we've got the lighting system that we can dim. We've also got LED strip lighting under here that shines down, so it's nice mood lighting, but nicely it's white light, it's not blue or red or orange or something like this that some boat yards have done. Tons of storage again, lovely joinery, full size double. You don't get freeboard foot. Freeboard foot is where your foot can get stuck between the side deck that you walk along here and the height of the bed. Some boats, especially if you have larger feet, you put your feet out, you stretch out in bed, and it's sort of, you have to keep it like this. Also, I'm not particularly tall, but this is a very long bed. They actually extended the size of this cabin and took up some saloon space to make it extra large. But as we move around in here, you can just appreciate the sheer size of this cabin. Again, lovely contrasting linings, Lovely joinery, beautiful light wood, and again loads of storage capacity. Large cupboards, towels again provided, smaller cupboards, ladies and gentlemen with longer hair, hairdryer provided. So we've got everything going on in here. I love the way that these window dips down, so you get from lying in bed you can just look out across the scene. I love the light that comes into here. Full size, full length mirror, just beautiful. Open this door here, it's much the same sized ensuite as the other one. The only difference in here is a deeper sink. And one of the negative points, it would be nice if we could have just a shaving mirror here. It doesn't need to be one on an arm, but just a round mirror, because when you're standing here trying to shave and then look round here into the mirror, yeah, it can give you a bit of awkwardness. But otherwise, really lovely, super frosted glass. You certainly won't be seeing through that. Beautiful shower, full mixer taps. Coming round here, double sockets, full size wardrobe, and a hoover. Now you might think, oh God, but no, you're living on this boat. Maybe for a week, maybe for 2 weeks. How nice it is to have, and I've used it a couple of times to have a hoover, just to, you know, hoover up the bits of grass that you bring into the boat and dust and so on, and just keep it really nice, clean environment. So that's the aft cabin on this boat. So now let's just head out through into the open air. So you access the stern by simply opening the door, and they're on those latches again. And look at this. Lovely to let all of that space and that air into the boat. They've lowered the stern so you can easily get on and off the boat. There's all lighting for at night time to have on here, so it's safe. Come out here, there's your step down there. And I apologise for the wind on the microphones, but here's our second negative point. What we need here is a couple of horizontally mounted small fenders, because whenever you moor on, stern on to a key heading without fenders, what you'll have is this rubbing strake banging just gently against it with no shock absorption from any fenders, which you feel throughout the boat, a little nudge, but also it squeaks. Oh, it squeaks so badly that fenders would just cure. So you wouldn't protect it in the event of sort of a collision with somebody going backwards into a key heading too quickly, but just those two things, just a couple of fenders, that would sort that problem out. Under here is your engine. I'll just show you that for people that like to know. It's a 50 horsepower Narni engine. There's those two dual massive alternators. It's got a fire suppression system, and it just drives a standard hydraulically driven propulsion motor. So there's nothing really too fancy about that. Very quiet. Notice how smooth they're getting these days, the engines, compared to that of old. So again, I apologise for the sound on the microphones with the wind, but I hope you can still hear me nonetheless. On the roof of the boat, we've got a bank of solar panels, and they go all the way down the spine of the boat as well. And these are helping keep those batteries topped up. So even if you're not moving and you're just moored on a good sunny day, these are kicking out 150 watts each, and they're 50 on their own. So there's an awful lot of wattage of power going into the battery system. You've also got really nice side decks that are nice and wide to not sort of have to go along. I can put both my feet on them comfortably. Nice grab rails just come to hand. Step off the boat. Now we can appreciate all of that tinted glass, those portholes from the front cabin. Got an electric anchor winch, so no worries if you can't lift the mud weight out. Beautifully moulded in there. bow thrusters obviously, lovely ropes, really elegant boat. Again, at night time you have these courtesy lights to help you see where the side decks are. And there's the back of the boat with that low down access. So, let's come in out of the wind. Now, does anyone remember when I put that on? I left that on for 20 minutes. I can absolutely assure you that is red hot in there. But what did it do to the battery? We're now 82%. I had the oven on for 20 minutes and we've still got all of this battery capacity. That to me says so much for the future of boating on the Norfolk Broads. The non-need to run the engine at a mooring, the non-need to run the generator, removal of gas, the condensation and the safety risks that is, and you can have the convenience of electric cooking in a boat with a microwave, a grill, a toaster, an electric kettle, all of that, those types of things I think is just where the future's going to be going. So in that instance I've got no qualms with where Barnes Brinkcraft have gone. I know there's some people that say, oh, I miss not having a proper oven. Having used it and experienced it, there's no question, you know, it's the way to go. It's quick, it heats up quickly, it's very controllable. So yes, you know, if that's what your worry is about electric cooking on boats, I think that it had some issues in the past, but now we're in 2017, things have moved on. The inverters, the battery technology, the charging technology, we can really sort of start to embrace this as a new way forward for cooking. So I'm going to start the engine. This is just a demonstration of what if you had to run the engine when you're at a mooring. So there's that initial sort of starting noise. So let's just come round through here into the aft cabin. Okay, and that's the engine running now. It's behind that panel, remember, but very smooth and very quiet. Come out through the doors. I know it's windy and I know someone's mowing the lawn, but we're just listening here, trying to listen for the engine noise, okay? Let's get off the boat. Again, I am trying to get new equipment and new microphones and camera equipment to reduce this wind noise in future. But there's our underwater exhaust. It's a real shame he's doing the mowing at the moment, but if you imagine that that boat's there and another boat might be moored here, I can tell you from my ears, honest to goodness, okay, I cannot hear that water ejecting those bubbles from that boat. Now if it was an absolutely still night mooring, you know, in the middle of the night on a mooring without all of the wind and noise going on, yes, you would hear it, but is it a disturbing noise? It's not like it's just a different frequency of noise. So really well done with that, Barnes, for insulating your engine bay with sound absorbing material, for going to the trouble of having an underwater exhaust, for fitting the boat with all the solar panels to reduce the amount of engine runtime that you're going to need, and generally producing a very social, open and nice boat. You've been watching the boat review with myself, the London Rascal, and if you want to get online and have a look at some other boat reviews that I've done for Barnes Brinkcraft, or indeed follow the day as I blogged with this boat, then check out the YouTube channel Captain's Blog, or just search Norfolk Broads. Until next time, more as it happens.